Big dogs, there are some things that I am incredibly excited for that's going to be happening in the very near future. And if you guys know anything about me, not only do I like sharing information with you guys, it's going to be critical. Right now, we're in a point of cycle where we're getting towards reprint season, a particular time where Konami likes to reprint all of the most important and fun Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but it's also a time where they retool the entire Yu-Gi-Oh meta, and we are forced to play a different style of Yu-Gi-Oh. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know about that and what to prepare for within the next upcoming months. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Going on with ya big dogs, and it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal, but if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. And speaking of days, it's actually that time right now. Update Monday! A particular time where I trick you into thinking that this is a Yu-Gi-Oh video only to give you advice to help you overall as a person. But don't worry, big dogs, if you got a problem and just want to stick to Yu-Gi-Oh, there's timestamps. In today's Update Monday, I actually want to talk about something that does have a little bit to do with Yu-Gi-Oh, competition. You see, no matter what game you're in, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, football, baseball, soccer, there was always an opposition. And one thing that I've noticed about people when dealing with the opposition, they see them as an enemy. That's not really how competition works. You see, competition isn't about you competing against that person. Competition is actually about you competing against yourself, proving to yourself and to an extension to others you are a better version of yourself than before. And that happens in any given situation. When you start to compare yourself to another person, there's only two possible outcomes. One, you feel inadequate, or two, you think that you're better than them in every aspect. Regardless, in either case, that's not healthy for building a better version of you. So when you're going against your opponent, I want you to think of it as like a dance. No Diddy, not that way, because some of y'all be thinking crazy. When you're going against your partner in this dance, they're helping you, engaging you in particular situations that you couldn't push yourself further in. And whether you win or lose, you can gain from this experience to make yourself a better person. Competition is what breeds the best of us. And that's exactly what we're talking about in this video because it relates to so much. While it may seem that Konami is in direct competition with Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and other card games alike, in actuality, they're in direct competition with themselves. They need to prove to themselves and to the player base they are a better company now than before, and if they ever want to realize those profits, they gotta show us the money. Well, show us the things that takes our money. And that's why this part of the year is so crucial. Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten incredibly expensive in so many different ways. Starting off with some really expensive cards, the Mole Charming monsters are ridiculous in price. Even with two of them being reprinted, it's still gonna cost close to $200 if you want a play set of each. And they're pretty mandatory for where the game is heading towards. The Dominus cards are also creeping up fairly fast. Dominus Impulse is one of the strongest Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the game, and unfortunately, it's almost paywalled because it was a secret rare out of Rage of the Abyss. Its current pricing is $80 per copy, and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh strategies need 3. Then there's Dominus Purge, another really powerful card, but also sits at about $40 a copy, and you're going to need about 3. If you combine the prices of just those 15 cards, just so you can have staple Yu-Gi-Oh cards that can fit in just about any deck you want to play, you're going to be playing over $500 just for 15 cards. And we haven't started to talk about some of the other cards that you may need for your particular deck that are also fairly expensive. This time after time again has not only pushed players away from joining the game, but has also made players quit. And that's why these two upcoming sets are going to prove that Konami is still on their back. In fact, that's why I'm so excited. In a couple of weeks, we are going to be receiving a new set called Battles of Legends Monsters Mayhem. Historically, the Battles of Legends set used to be the mainstay reprint set. The Yu-Gi-Oh set that gives you some of those cards that were really important to be able to thrive into the game. If you take a look at our last Battles of Legends set in Battles of Legends Terminal Revenge, it actually gave some really key reprints at the time. Cards like Diviner of Herald were incredibly hard to get and only had an ultimate rare version version out of the OTS pack or the secret rare version out of its original set. There was also Divine Karakira Kara and Snatch Steel, some more semi-generic Yu-Gi-Oh cards that were really important for Yu-Gi-Oh at the time. And just to verify that this happens on a consistent basis, you can go back to the last Battles of Legends set before, Battles of Legends Monster Revenge, to be able to find out that cards like Book of Eclipse and Super Polymerization were also reprinted. At the time, those cards were incredibly powerful. We know for a fact that we're getting Primite Lordly Load inside of this set, and I don't think it would be too much of a stretch to be able to get Primite Aether Barrel also in Battles of Legends. But seeing that this is a monstrous 177 card Yu-Gi-Oh set, I'm almost guaranteed that we're going to be getting some other powerful generic Yu-Gi-Oh cards to help bring the cost of cards down. But also another thing to tell us about these Battles of Legends set is that history tells us that there will be a competitive strategy coming out of this set. While Monstrous Revenge didn't give us anything direct, Terminal's Revenge actually put Ritual Beast as a top tier contending Yu-Gi-Oh strategy so well that it actually topped multiple high-level events. Konami is always looking for a way to improve their Yu-Gi-Oh sets to get you to buy them. And if they have to make one strategy busted enough to be able to compete in Yu-Gi-Oh's card game, it's shown that they will do that. You combine that with popular reprints, some chibi versions of cards, and an emblem that could be embezzled on top of your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, Battles of Legends Monster Mayhem almost has no choice to be a hit. I'm really hoping for that to happen, but expect an honest review once we know all of the cards. But I think the biggest question here is which one of the three strategies that are getting a ton of support is going to be the best? Is it going to be Dragon Maids now having a 1-card combo and a level 9 main deck Dragon Maid monster, as well as its fusion? Is it going to be Orchist and their new Link 1 monster that is completely bonkers? And it also gets a Link 4 monster that is just as incredible. Or will it be Punk, the deck that gets not only a rank 8 monster, but a level 8 monster to help complete the deck? To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if all three of these decks were really strong, and I also wouldn't be surprised if any of the other decks that are receiving support wouldn't be strong as well. What I want you guys to do is let me know down below in the comment section, what do you think is going to be the strongest Yu-Gi-Oh deck? And while you're there gooning, you might as well go to TheCaliEffect.com because you're gonna need these sleeves to be able to protect your deck. Raven Wing sleeves are easily the #1 sleeves in the entire universe. So if you guys want good, cheap, competitive Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves, I suggest that you go to TheCaliEffect.com and pick them up today. We also have some really cool mats. But enough of that. There's also another thing that I really want to talk about. Now, I could be wrong, and Battles of Legends Monstrous Mayhem can be the new Rarity Collection set that we'll be receiving. I'm not necessarily a believer, because I know when you slap a name on top of a set, it really means something. We know that Battles of Legends is a thing that happens every year around this time of the year, and we also know that Rarity Collection is its own thing that gives a whole new wave of reprints. I think both of them are very important for Yu-Gi-Oh, and I also think that it would be incredibly foolish for Konami not to give us another Rarity Collection set. You see, Rarity Collection sets are really important for modern Yu-Gi-Oh now. When you're competing with other card games, you're essentially competing with yourself. Pokemon has already exploited a huge weakness in Yu-Gi-Oh. A competitive Pokemon deck is about $50. A competitive Yu-Gi-Oh deck is closer to the thousands. Now, typically with competition, sometimes weaknesses can be ignored, but when you have card games like One Piece and Lorcana who also are exploiting that weakness, you're gonna have to catch up. Especially considering that the Rarity Collection is almost a no-brainer for Konami to continue. It was so massively successful, and it actually got players to stay in the game because their cards are a lot more accessible, like the other card games. In actuality, I've developed the perfect system on how Konami could keep its competitive Yu-Gi-Oh players as well as its casual players in balance, perfect harmony. And if you guys want to see a video of me talking about that, then go ahead and let me know down below in the comment section. But for right now, I'm really excited because we don't necessarily know about the later slate of Yu-Gi-Oh sets that we'll be receiving, but we do know that it's reprint season. Between this year's versions of our Mega Tins that we'll be receiving, which hopefully don't have Yugi, Kaiba, Dark Magician, or Blue Eyes on the front of them, though they probably will, and a potential Rarity Collection, it would help keep Konami in healthy competition with those other card games. And also because there is a ton of cards that Konami could include inside of that Rarity Collection. Us getting one at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year is very much possible. Now, if you guys didn't know, quarter century rare will no longer be a thing. So in Rarity Collection 5, we will not be getting any quarter century rare version of the cards. But that still doesn't mean we can't receive Super, Prismatic Secret, Platinum Rare, and the other rarities inside of that set. In fact, some of those rarities are exclusive to Rarity Collection 5, making it more valuable and sought after. Konami is legitimately sitting on a gold mine right now. They have Yu-Gi-Oh players' pockets in their hand. They are ready to take it. All they have to do is not fumble the bag. And to be honest with you guys, I don't like their tactics. I talked about it in the video, but you guys seem to love the tactics, so I gotta roll with it. I can already see cards like the Dominus cards being reprinted in the Mega 10s and then following up being reprinted again inside of these rarity sets. And it's mainly because this has already happened before. In fact, it's happened to just about every single mainstay staple Yu-Gi-Oh card throughout the formats. I think this is really good for Yu-Gi-Oh because it does help check inflation of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Currently, even Molchummy Flawless is a $20 super rare, which is a little much considering that it is a Rarity Collection card set. But if it were to be reprinted inside of Battles of Legends Monstrous Mayhem or the 2025 Mega 10s, especially as a lower rarity, that would really help with the card's price setting. And lastly, something that I'm incredibly excited for Yu-Gi-Oh players overall is Konami's prize support. Now, I've said this before, I've actually said it plenty of times on my stream, but I think the praise needs to be just as loud as the critique. For years, I have critiqued Konami on their dog pricing. It has been so bad. I think that Konami is directly responsible for Nintendo stock. Those switches they can't keep coming out of nowhere. Bro, it's like I'm on O-Block or something. Switches are everywhere. Konami finally listening to the players and giving us stamped Yu-Gi-Oh cards, something that was really easy for them to do, only means that Konami is preparing for more. One thing that I know about Konami from talking to execs and dealing with them is that when they start to roll out changes, it starts off minimal and then they gradually increase. So I wouldn't be surprised by the fall season we actually get even more things that makes it worth it for actually competing in an event. Yeah, I lied right there. There is not a single thing on God's green earth that you can do to convince me to sit in a room full of sweaty virgins anymore. But hey, that air fryer do be going crazy, ain't gonna lie. Overall, guys, I think that Konami is about to make some huge announcements very soon. I think at this current time, Konami could be trending in an upward trajectory. I am a little bit nervous because oftentimes when you do an upward trajectory like this happens. But if they continue to stack their chips in the right place, then we may be in a way better spot. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about these things that I have to say. Will there be a Rarity Collection 5? What are you expecting from Battles of Legends Monster Mayhem? Overall, do you like the prize support and everything in between? Until next time, big dogs, I really hope you're enjoying this video, but be sure to check out these ones so I can catch you on the next one.